everyone, welcome to Letstute. Today we have with us two very special guests. They are the founders of Wise Move Academy. It's none other than Ameya and Amogh Kamli. So, welcome to Letstute. So, the first thing that I would like to explain everyone that's watching right now is today's podcast is going to be a little bit different. Today we are going to play chess along with the questions, and they are going to let you know how you can make a career out of chess and how chess can help you academically as well as a student and also in general as a person.
Well, thank you so much, Swastiki, for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a very good concept that you come up with. We'll be excited to play as well, along with answering questions and even answering all the doubts, whatever the questions are. Yeah.
I'm looking forward quite to the game though.
Just one thing, like I'm not a pro player, so go easy on me. So the first thing that I would like to ask you guys, like when we approached you for the podcast, what were your thoughts? Like why did you choose to come here?
Okay, firstly, when we got a message, we were very excited because obviously Letstute is a very wonderful platform for students to learn. And the first instant reaction was we were happy. And the reason why we want to communicate to the audience is because I think chess in India is especially growing a lot, and we can share our information and expertise to the students and who are the viewers watching this podcast.
And since we are playing a game of chess today, I'll start with my first move. I'm very basic, so once again, go easy.
Okay. It's actually a good strategy to say you're basic and then defeat others.
No, I am actually very basic at this.
That's one of the strategies.
So, as we spoke earlier, you both are engineers. You're MBA. You've done your MBA basically. So, what made you choose chess as a career?
So during the course of MBA and when we were doing our engineering, and so we always wanted to get back to the community. We had been into the chess field for the past 2 decades, and we have been playing chess, and then we wanted to come back in the way to give back the community, and we always wanted to start off something of our own. So what else we thought about is to just get into a chess academy. We started a chess academy, and we were very passion driven at that time to start something of our own, and we believed that we could make a difference for the learning experience for the students basically. So that's how we started our academy, and that was in the year 2014. So it's been around almost 8.5 years now that we are in this, and so that's about it.
So, what age did you start playing chess?
Well, as I can remember, I think it was when I was 9.
And I was 11, so we have 2 years difference.
So
How did you come across it? Like, did you just explore it by chance and found it interesting, or like someone got you into it?
okay, so we when we were in school, there was a tournament called Bonvita, inter-school tournament, and our teachers at the time, got a form from them and asked us if we are interested in playing the tournament. This was for school, inter-school tournament. So, we both were very interested. However, we didn't know in-depth knowledge about chess. We were just like beginners who would play at home amateur level, to the point that we didn't even know the rules, to be honest, completely. So we thought of enrolling us. Our parents were very supportive towards it. They were like, okay, if you love doing it, go ahead, let's see how it goes. So we enrolled for the first tournament, that was Bonvita, and we were coached for like 14 days, 2 weeks, and we played our first tournament. That's how it started. My performance, I think our performance was average. We performed in the first tournament. I think I scored 6 out of 11, and I think Ameya scored 4.5 out of 11 in our first. But what really excited was we were quite glued to it. So
you need a reason to go ahead, right? So after that particular tournament, we thought of pursuing it, right, and making it even better, being better at what we were already. So I thought we started playing chess again, as in learning more, and we played more tournaments, and like in a year's time, it so happened that we were in the top 5, right? I mean, the same kind of a tournament, in the same tournament, in fact. which happens
A year
like
later.
a year
A
later.
year later,
Okay.
yeah.
So in that 1 year, so what we feel is that the process was very important. Like we had a lot of defeats, we lost a lot of games, but what kept us going at that point, of course we were young, but our parents were very supportive and they gave us a right attitude to look towards it. So that's how it started, and then of course then we made sure we had our own international ratings within next 6-7 months. Yeah,
So you've played internationally as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your rank in the first tournament, and what was it in the second tournament?
Okay, so if you're talking about a specific tournament, that let's say when I played Bonvita, I think I wouldn't know exact, but I think I was on 130th rank or something the first time when I played. The second time I played, I think I was second. So that was like a leap.
Yeah.
But yeah,
around the same thing with me as well. I was around the same rank, and in the first tournament, like after a year, when I came back to play the same tournament, I was I think fourth, if I'm not wrong. That was the first, like when we just got back to the same tournament again.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how it is.
Okay, so I forgot about the game.
yeah, we forgot about making
Yeah.
the move.
I'll
So you can make a move now, and
cool. I'll do that. Oh, I'm very scared. I'm more conscious about this game rather than the podcast. So, since you said that your parents were very supportive for this, so there are a lot of parents who expect that if their child gets into a sport or for an instance into a game, so they expect that they'll reach great feats and everything in a short period of time. So, what can parents expect from kids who want to get into chess?
so to be very frank enough, so when a parent approaches us, right, and when he, so the expectations are really very high, right, and like you learn in 3 months and they expect the results. So it's all, again we focus on not the results at the start. So you have to make sure that you learn the basics, you learn what the game is all about. And at the same time we also try to build an attitude for the child, which is a very important thing. Why would anyone be different if you know the same logic, right? How would I defeat you? So what matters is the attitude towards your attitude towards the game. So we try to build in that culture with the students that we cater to. So what we always advise our parents is to be more patient and to be more supportive towards their children, and make them more experienced towards the game. That is always our message to the parents, the advice to the parents.
To add to that, I would say, uh, as coming back to the question you asked, like what do the parents expect? I think we have like different expectations from all. Obviously, not everyone is same. All parents have a different expectation, but sometimes we get into a kind of a, especially it's in this century, we want quick results. It doesn't work that way. However, what works is being consistent and working towards the goal, not letting defeats affect you, because it all depends on how you take defeats. All, even the top players who are currently playing, they were once a beginner, and they started from zero, right? So what actually matters is how you take defeats, how you get up and start again. I think if you relentlessly keep doing that, you will definitely come stronger and keep improving. I think that's something that parents need to be a little more aware about, that it's a journey. It's not a business deal. It's a journey and it takes time.
It's our personal experience that we like to share. Like there have been parents who have been supportive, but when the child keeps losing constantly for some or the other reasons, they kind of the motivation drops. When the motivation drops and the child is interested, but still the whole thing doesn't work together. So it has to be a joint effort, the parent and the child. Parent is a passive kind of a person who's playing chess. literally.
Right.
And the child is an active one, so the passive one also plays a major role. So in basically telling that, okay, even if you lose, I'm there. So it makes a lot of difference. That's the personal experience.
So, what would you say? How long does it take for, say a basic player like me to, learn chess and, get good at it basically?
So again, it's very relative, but let's say it depends also on the age. Let's say if I consider, let's say, a 7-year-old to a 10-year-old, just to know the basics and learn chess. Of course, uh, uh, given the grasping and everything, should take around 3 to 4 months, right, to be like really acquainted with the knowing all the basics, like knowing all the rules, how it's supposed to be done. 3 to 4 months is definitely the point where you know that, okay, this is how it works. This is for, again, there are some people are some students are very fast, so this is like an average, I would say. It could be more or less than this.
Okay. And are there any kind of qualities or any kind of criteria required to be a good player?
The criteria required to be a good player. So I think you need to be okay. So we don't emphasize much on the criteria per se. You need to know the movement of pieces, all of these basic things. Given that, good intellect, yes, but even if you're more hardworking and your average intellect, you still can do it. That's my personal opinion. And yes, you need to have a fighting spirit for the game because it's a battle. So you need to. It needs you to uh, come back stronger, because not always that you will keep winning. If you This is a war game, right? So you need to have killer instinct. You need to have a little bit of aggression sometimes, strategic, know when to retreat, know your weaknesses, know your strengths, play on your opponent's weaknesses. If you find a weakness, exploit it, take advantage of it, and then convert into a win. So the ability to do these things, uh, and obviously it's very given that you need to have good concentration, and it's not built in one day. It takes a while. You know, concentration can't be built in overnight. But yeah, with constant practice, you can have a very good concentration level and eventually get better at the game.
Right. So, I need to make a move.
Yeah, I've played one.
Yeah. So, since you're not, on the opposite team, I want you to help me out.
Okay.
So,
Sure. So what is he doing currently is attacking your queen with
Yeah.
his bishop, and the bishop is supported by the knight, right? So here you should always focus on developing a piece and then blocking that attack. So you can get the knight to f3. So you can get your knight out and block on f3. So you basically, what you're doing is blocking the attack on the queen and developing a piece ahead.
okay.
Yeah. So that's perfect. Yeah, that's the best move.
So, as you mentioned in your previous answer, that there are some qualities that a chess player needs to have. For example, they need to be very alert. They need to have problem solving skills, or they need to analyze what their opponent's move is going to be. So, is it something that you can train yourself in, or is it necessary to get trained, under someone or in an academy or something like that?
So it can be both. You can learn at yourself as well or at the academy. So the thing is, when you have a professional training, obviously you can learn faster. If you learn personally, there are going to be some pitfalls. The learning will be a little slow because you wouldn't know the exact format of the game. So obviously, when you train, especially when we teach at Wise Move, we have a very specific way of learning calculation tactics. There's a very defined way in chess. There's a very defined way of going about calculation, going about learning any tactic, right? So when you have this structured way, you learn faster. Obviously, in chess, visualization is very important. Memory is also very important, and ability to look for patterns. So these three crucial points are there. Especially chess is all about pattern recognition. So if I have to tell you in layman's term, if there is any tactic Tactic, basically I define tactic as set of moves where you gain opponent's pieces. Okay, so if I teach you a tactic, let's say double attack, okay, so what we do is we solve puzzles based on double attack. We'll give you different patterns to solve on double attack, and now the probability of the same position coming in your game is in 1 in a million, but the pattern repeats. The pattern will be repeated, right? The position might be different. The puzzle that you solve in the book and the game that you play are not going to be the same. However, when the similar position comes in your game, the pattern, when it repeats, you automatically understand, oh, this is a double attack. But when you do this process on your own without a training, you will be like middle of nowhere, not knowing what's going on. So training obviously is a very it's like a catapult. It improves your learning speed. And yeah, we definitely work that way. We have a very, once you learn the basics, we teach you tactics, we give you puzzles based on tactics where you understand the pattern recognition, and then you try to apply that in the game. So you learn a concept and apply in the game, learn a concept, apply in the game constantly. When you do this, you definitely get better over the others. We have to understand that teaching chess is not just teaching the moves. You also have to take care of what the other person's psyche is. Maybe what we do as at Wise Move especially is, when a student comes to the class, we try to speak to him like, how was your day. Such basic small checks are very important, because the person who is learning needs to be in the right mindset. There can be a possibility he had a bad day at school, at work, and he's not in the right mind frame to go about it. So we want to make sure, a quick check on how easy. If he's probably not in a great state, probably talk to him for like a minute and two. The other person feels a little more comfortable, and then we make sure that, okay, now he's in the right state, let's go about it. So such checks are very crucial as a trainer also. You need to make sure that you're not only just teaching chess, it's quite a big responsibility of making sure the other person is also in a receptive mood while learning. I think as a trainer, your job is not to just teach the 64 squares, but also develop an interest and love for the game. So these are very delicate small factors that we need to take into consideration whenever you're teaching. And obviously, I have come across, especially about students who are, we also come across some students who are having learning disorder. They take, now we are not professionals to understand that, like not a psychologist to understand or categorize a student into a certain criteria, but there are certain red flags when you see that, okay, student is not following a very basic thing, for reiterating it 100 times, still not following it, right? So probably we can bring it to the notice, and that can be also, I mean, with the proper attention, some medical attention, that student can also detect few issues at an early age, and that can be corrected. So I think the person who's training has a huge responsibility, not only just teaching chess, but also we take it like a responsibility to make sure the student is also in the right frame of mind and is right there in front of us, not just mentally somewhere else.
So these are some things that you teach at Wise Academy, like Wise Move Academy.
Yeah.
And if I want to make a career, say in chess, so what are some of the career options that I can choose?
Right. So for in chess, of course, when you achieve the highest title for a chess player is a Grandmaster. So when you are a Grandmaster, you need to achieve certain norms. There are certain norms that you need to achieve according to the World Chess Federation, Fide, and you need to play some international tournaments for that, score a minimum points. There are certain criterias, and yeah, you can certainly lead a decent and comfortable life once you become a Grandmaster. Then the other avenues apart from this is, of course, chess training is one of the options. Then you can also, by the way, chess journalism is also booming right now. You look at the current scenario since because of the internet, you can talk about chess, you can give chess knowledge, chess news across the world. You can because all the chess people who are playing chess right now are interested in knowing what is happening around in the chess field or in the chess area, right? So that is another one. Third is because chess players, they can stream their games. They play online. They stream their games on different platforms, relevant platforms, and that's also a source of revenue. So yeah, there are many avenues.
Also, I think chess organizing tournaments, like if you're an organizer, that's also another way of, that can also be a career. You can be a chess organizer and you can organize tournaments, because as I said, during lockdown, the most popular sport was chess, thanks to Queen's Gambit, right? I think precisely why we are playing a game right now, right? So chess has boomed a lot, and there are like a lot of players wanting tournaments. When we used to play actively, that time the tournament frequency was not as much as it is right now. Right now, if you see for kids, especially age group tournaments, every Sunday there's a tournament almost. I'm talking about Mumbai, Thane area, and obviously in other parts of the country also there are a lot of tournaments. So chess organizing, as being an organizer, is also a good career option. Chess journalism, as Ameya said, is also like you can have literally a side career where you have a YouTube channel, you stream all the news, you can play on Twitch, you can also increase your followers, and there are a lot of good streamers on chess who make chess as their basic earning. They play chess online and they get subscribers, and that's also a very decent way of.
This is apart from the competition part.
Okay, I'm talking about apart from the competition. This is also like a very good way of having a passive income / mainstream income as well.
Right. So say that I only want to make a career in chess only by playing chess. So is it like a good career option, and is it something that you can say earn good money? So is it a possibility?
Yeah. So again, it's very relative. Good for different people is different, right? So, but as I mentioned earlier about being a grandmaster and playing chess is way too different than being a normal title player and playing chess, of course. So that carries a lot of weightage, being a grandmaster, and because then you are invited to tournaments to play chess, you're paid for that, plus everything is taken care of, plus you get money for
Grandmasters get paid to play.
Yeah,
And
grandmaster
also sponsorship.
also
Get
sponsorship.
sponsored. Yes.
There are companies which hire these players as well. They give jobs, so they represent the companies and then they play for the company. So that also is a very good source of income just by playing. There are also international masters who do the same thing. So the companies hire them and they represent their companies. Indian Oil, IOC is one of the companies who do that. Bharat Petroleum, BPCL is the one who does that. So these chess players are hired, and then they of course whenever these tournaments are going on, they represent. So that also, just by playing, you can do it.
Right. So it does seem like a very interesting career option. So as you spoke about some of the perks of being a grandmaster, are there any kind of challenges or struggles that people face, like chess players face?
There are challenges certainly for becoming a grandmaster itself. So you see that there are financial costs involved. To become a grandmaster itself, you have to play international tournaments. You have to play across with different ethnicities, right? So the traveling cost, plus you need to train yourself to that level as well. So you need good trainer. So the training cost for that, right? There are very few examples like Bobby Fischer who have done it on your own, but the exceptions are not examples, right? So yeah, so these are the challenges. But once you are a grandmaster, then nothing like it.
Yeah. So since you talked about some of the struggles faced by grandmasters and chess player, I'm struggling to make the next move, but I'll do that. And
I don't think so. You're struggling.
no, I am. So we spoke about the challenges and everything that are faced by chess players. So how well do you say the industry is doing right now, and how well will it do in the coming 5 years?
Now, if you want to know the answer to this question and to know if I win against these chess masters, make sure to stay tuned for the part 2 of this podcast. Until then, keep learning and keep growing with Letstute.